Hello and welcome everyone. Hope you are doing great today. We'll be discussing one of the most important, the most important change that we have in Enscape version 4.9. We're going to talk about Enscape Cosmos. Now, previously guys, for having access to Enscape's assets, we could have used Asset Library. In this version though, 4.9, there's a platform that we can use guys. I'm talking about Chaos Cosmos. First off, guys, this platform is actually being used by all the plugins, all the softwares related to Chaos Group Company. Now, in order to use this platform, you actually need to download and install the Cosmos software on your systems. And you can easily just find and download the software from the Chaos Group's website, guys. Now, let's see what we're going to get when we install the software. Take a look at this. Up here, we got a couple of tabs. For example, this one contains some pre-made Enscape assets, and then the other tab contains the customized ones. Now, back to the first tab, guys. We got some categories here. Let me just minimize my tab a little to get a better access. And remember, guys, this is not a necessity. If you like, you can just enlarge the tab and get access to these categories in this way. Anyway, as I was saying, guys, here we got some, you can say well-organized categories. We can also use filters. Also, guys, we got this search box up here that we can, use to search for specific items and assets during our works. And also, guys, if you take a closer look to these assets and items, you'll see that some of them are checked. This means that these items and assets are already downloaded. And then here we have some interesting items, which we'll be discussing later on. For now, I'm just going to click here and go back to the home page. Now, guys, take a look at this. While we're offline, we can still use this software. We can have access to this category called downloaded items, okay? And obviously, we have the online category as well. Anyway, guys, when you download something, basically, like, for example, an asset, an item, whatever you want to call it, it would always remain downloaded and you would always be able to find it here in this category. Right, next up, we have a category here called, 3D models. Here, all the 3D models and assets are completely and accurately categorized and organized. And also, guys, if you have a specific brand in mind, like, for example, something famous, you might be able to find it in here. For example, Evermotion-related brands. As you can see, we got many high-quality objects, or Enscape objects, or XYZ objects that we can use for creating characters, and, basically other objects to which we can have access. And then here we can find the brand's icons, guys, and when we click on them, we would enter their categories. And also here we have an explanation on the console, which is basically what I just said. Now here we have settings. When we click on it, we would see some options. First off, through settings itself, we would be able to, for example, specify a path or a location for the assets that we would download. Then here we got download info. It says 57% currently, which is about 7 gigs of assets. Okay. Right, back to the home page again. Other than settings, we got about. Now here we would basically find some general info regarding the software. Let me just close this down for now. Then we got cookies and preferences. Let's just move past this one for now. And then at the end, we got resources, guys. For example, forums or helping documents, or for example, support, and basically other info, other items that we might need. I'm going to click on help documents. As you can see, this document would be opened up for me. Oh, and guys, if you recall, I said that the first thing that you need to do would be downloading and installing the software. But if the software didn't open up, from resources, you need to go ahead and open up the helping documents. And then you can click on, and we'll open up this tab, troubleshooting. And then in here, you would also find a link for downloading the software. I'm going to click on it. And when I do so, I'll enter this page. And in here, we can find, I can find a link to the software. By the way, the software that I'm talking about here is this one, guys, Cosmos Browser. Anyway, we talked about this before, guys. Let's just go back to our homepage. Now, let's see what other interesting features we have here, guys. Let's say we want to work with some of these libraries. I'm going to enter the offline segment again. Now, when we move the cursor on any of these assets or items, we'll get some icons. For example, this one is for the favorite icons, which, well, I guess it is quite self-explanatory. Then we got this zooming item or icon. If we click on it, we'll enter this tab that contains similar items and also more info and details regarding the item. And also we can move to the next item or even the previous one. You know, it's kind of like moving through a catalog or a collection or something. Then we got 3 placing options. First, we got place asset on active work plane, then place asset on surface, and at the end, link Revit family to asset. This is awesome, guys. Now, if we go with the first option, the placing would be done on our current to active work plane. It could be a view, a level, or basically any other thing. The second option is exactly the same as place by face. I'm going to select it. When I do so, I'll get a tab, this one. Basically, in this tab, we'll be getting some hints regarding how to work with the item. Anyway, we need to select a face, let's say this one. Let me just close these. And then as you can see, the object would be added on this face. And now if I go ahead and run the Enscape, we'll get a realistic simulation on this view, guys. See? This is pretty good. Now let's talk about the third option, guys. Extremely important and very interesting. Let me try setting my softwares in 2 views next to each other. All right, good. Let me remove this for now. And then go back to this plan. All right, guys. Let's say during a project, you've used some of Revit's own furniture. Or you know what? Actually, the Enscape furniture is not really good for presenting for example, a furniture plan. Yeah, so the Enscape furniture simply won't do you any good when it comes to presenting such files, such projects. The problem is, guys, the Enscape furniture are only good for creating, for example, or basically working on a render in the same workspace, in the same environment. Well, they simply won't work good enough for example, presenting and analyzing a furniture plan. Now, this is a problem, right? Well, not anymore. Not in this version. Take a look at this. From components, I can go ahead and add Revit's furniture or create new families even. So, for example, I'm going to set this here. Then I'm going to click on Load Family. Then I'm going to try selecting this bed, for example, and try setting it somewhere around here. Right, good. Now let's try setting some chairs. This will do. And then give me a table. Let's go with this round table. Let me set it somewhere around here. And that'll do, actually. Let's check the result now. Guys, the thing is, using Revit's furniture works, well, perfectly for processes such as documentation process or creating a furniture plan, but they won't be displayed with a good quality in Enscape. But, well, as I said, we don't have this problem anymore. Take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and open up Chaos Cosmos again. And then I can use, you know what, guys, to do this more easily, let me just go ahead and set some specific names here. This is not a necessity, guys. I'm just trying to do this because I want to go through the example a little bit more easily. That is all. No, what's happening here? Let me just pause this. I don't want to check the results simultaneously for now. Rename and copy. Now paste this here. You know what? Let me just complete this real quick. All right, good. Let me close these now. And then back to Chaos Cosmos. Now in here, I'm going to use the search box to search for dining. See what we have for it. And online, actually. See what we have for the tables. Basically, guys, I want to specify how exactly I want this table here to be displayed in the render. Let's say this one. Now I'm going to click here and then select Link Revit Family to Asset. Now, what is going to happen is that in my furniture plan, I would see this family, but in my render, I would see this one that I'm about to select. So I'm going to click on the option. We'll get this tab. Here we need to search for the name. It was a code 1525. Here we got table 1525. Just select it and link. Now let's unpause this, continue the rendering, guys. Take a look at this. Displayed family in Revit is this one, and we have a different one in Enscape. Let's go through another example now. Sofa. Say I want to replace this chair here with, for example, this one. So again, I'm going to click on the item and then select Link Revit Family to Asset. Now in this tab, find the family, select and link. See, the family got changed or replaced in the Enscape. As this feature is truly awesome. Let me go through another example for the bed this time. 1346. I want this one. The item, Link Revit. By the way, guys, sometimes it might actually take a while for this window to be opened up, so just wait for it. All right, here we go. Which one was it? 1346. Select and link. Oh, the asset was not downloaded, guys. Let's go ahead and try a downloaded one. Link. Again, 1346. Select and link. So because the asset was already downloaded, it got replaced almost immediately. And also, guys, let's try an example using a desk. Okay, so this one is already downloaded. What else we have, though? Okay, let's go with this one. By the way, guys, if we click on this zoom icon here, in this tab, we would be able to go through the same process through this item. Right now in this tab, what is the code? 1525. 1525 by 762, which is this one. Link. And all done. Awesome. By the way, guys, when we do this, the coordinates or the position of families might change a bit. This is because the families might not have similar base points. This is not a big deal, though. Like, you can just easily apply the required modifications. Like, you can, for example, rotate the families. Basically, you just need to align your families in Revit and Enscape. That is all. Alright, guys, as our next example, let's say we have created a family, something quite simple. Let me pause this. I'm going to go ahead and open up a template. Generic model. Now to the front view. Now, let me try creating a family here real quick. Alright, assume that this masterpiece is a car, guys. Yeah, this is a car that I'm going to load into my project. And for example, I'm going to set it here and unpause. So you guys, we got a very, well, actually an extremely simple family here, but I don't want this to be displayed like this in my Enscape, in my render. So again, we need to go ahead and enter Chaos Cosmos. Okay. And then I'm going to go back here. In the home page, and then search for car. Now I'm just going to go with this one. Revit link. Now in this tab, let's find our family. I guess it is this one. Is it though? Yeah, it is. So back here again, select and link. All done, guys. Let me rotate this. So guys, we have a huge and, well, detectable and truly awesome difference here. And oh, by the way, guys, this way you can somehow prevent creating a large file in Revit. I mean, your file won't become heavy for no good reason. Now, as our next example, let's work on the lights. Let me see, do we have any downloaded asset here? Okay, there's one. No, we got more down here. Let's see. Give me this one. All right, click on Revit link again. Let's find the family ceiling. Is it this one? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, it has been added here. Let me select one and change the orientation. By the way, guys, if you want to work with this item, if you want to use this method, you need to create your families in a way that you would actually prevent facing any problems in Enscape later on in the first place. Like, I mean, this family actually has another goal, and I just went on and used it here. But again, guys, as I said, if you want to use this method, you need to make sure that your families would be created in a way that you won't face any problems. Right, but, well, I guess this was good enough just for an example. Let's just go back, Control-Z. Overall, guys, this is a very good and interesting feature that we have in this version of the software, I mean in Enscape version 4.9. And we also have some filtering features, guys. These are quite important as well. I'm going to enter my 3D models and try giving you an example on this. For example, only show me the favorite items. Or, for example, the updated ones. And up here, guys, you would actually see your filters. You would actually see the conditions based on which your filters are being applied. Now, we have other options based on which we can apply the filters, such as colors, whether the item is indoors or outdoors, whether it's a house-based item or not. And well, here we have some sub-items such as ceiling, floor, and so on. Now, for our current asset, 2 filters don't really work, so we need to get rid of one. No, we can just clear everything and get rid of all of them. And then we have some animation items. All right, so this time I'm going to try selecting this separately, active plane. Let's see what we have here. This will be the face, and set this here. Or you know what? Let me cancel this. And enter this plan. And try setting the item here. For example, next to this column. Now give me several copies. We can even use array. Or you can just replace it with another family. Okay, good. Yeah, so basically this is another interesting and, well, quite useful feature that we have in Enscape version 4.9. And by the way, guys, I mean, again, because we actually talked about this earlier, here we have the location for saving the file, and, well, if you wanted to, you can easily change it. Now, guys, remember, this is not the only change. This is not the only upgrade that we have in this version of the software, I mean in Enscape version 4.9, but in my opinion, this is actually the most important one. You know, guys, to put this whole thing simply, using this feature, we would have a better collaboration in between Revit and Enscape. Alright, everyone, that would be all for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed everything. Don't forget to practice. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.